Hello guys, now we will study the class 9th NCRT Democratic Politics chapter 4 Working of Institution. So first of all here we will look about what is the overview of working of institution. Democracy is not just about the people electing their rulers. In a democracy, the rulers have to follow some rules and procedures. What it's saying that democracy is not a such thing where people have to only elect their rulers, whereas rulers have to also follow the some rules and procedures. They have to work with and within institution. What they have to, there are some limits, some parameters, some guidance through which they can work. They cannot work beyond that. This chapter is about the working of such institution in a democracy. Okay, so basically as the chapter name is working of institution, so here we will learn about the how the institution work in a democracy government, like what is the meaning of democracy, what does the definition of democracy, like what is exactly defined, like people have a right to choose their rulers. Even rulers have to follow some rules and regulation or principle in which they are enacting. This chapter is about the working of such institution in democracy. We try to understand this by looking at the manner in which major decisions are taken implemented in our country. What it's saying ki we will trying to, in this chapter we will trying to understand by looking at the manner how the major decisions are taken by the government body and they are implemented to for the welfare of local peoples. Okay, so here what is the first thing, like whatever the decisions or what are the policies government is forming, that doesn't mean that they can form or take any decision. Okay, they have some limit and some regulation rules, they have to follow that. And here we will understand how they are taking the decision and how they are implementing it. Okay, now we also look at how disputes regarding the decision are resolved. Okay, we will also see, suppose take example of article number 370. Okay, recently government has removed the article 370. So this story is before the independence story, article 370, but till now no government body, or we can say no our prime minister and any other leader has take action and or any action. Even the, we can say the Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, while the independence, we were the approaching the independence towards the 1947, so he was a little bit taking the initiative for that, but apart from he, there were none of the leaders who exactly have some phenomena for taking this decision. Okay, so basically here we will understand how disputed this regard decisions. Suppose one decisions are taken, so it doesn't mean that decisions are taken in a simply form. There are lots of problem, lots of burden, lots of positions are standing here, there are lots of obstacles are coming, but then also the government is have to decide for the some policies or rules and regulation which is well for the welfare of society. In this process we come across this institution that play a key role in a major decision: legislature, executive and judiciary. So basically what it's saying कि यहाँ पे जो institution है, like basically यहाँ पे हम तीन institution के बारे में बात करेंगे. The first will be the legislature. Okay, this institution will be divided into three terms. First will be legislature, executive and judiciary. Okay, here are the one very interesting parameter, like all these three bodies are correlated to each other. None of the body can exist without one. Okay, and none of the body can work without one. So how we will understand here, see, suppose what is the function of legislature, what is the function of executive, what is the function of judiciary. So as we took the example of article 370, okay, which government has recently reduced it or removed it. So taking the first initiative is the function of function come under the legislature. Okay, suppose a legislative body suggests to the government or some other administrative authorities that this article should be removed from our constitution. Why? Because when we implemented this article, when we introduced this article in our under our constitution, there was a need for that article. Okay, but right now we have moved such a long time and we are working for the upgradation, so basically there is no need of this article, so we can remove it. Okay, legislative person or legislative member has just suggested it or written in the draft. Okay, just pass the draft. So basically we can see कि legislative function is to pass the draft or to have some idea about any changes in the society. Now we have studied about the legislative, now we will study about the executive. Okay, so what does the exactly executive member or executive people do? Who are the member of executive department? What they do? Okay, this draft will come to them. Okay, what who are the member of executive department? Like prime minister, president, governor, chief minister, cabinet minister, all these are the member of executive government. So basically this draft come to the executive people and they see, okay, they see the pro, okay, cons and history of this. Okay, many factors they see, and what are the advantage and disadvantage of this passing this bill, okay, passing this draft. Then if executive members feel that this, like we are talking about the article number 370, is suitable, okay, whatever the legislative government is suggesting, they need to go through that and they need to implement that. So what they will do, they will just pass it to the further. Okay, here they can directly pass it to the government, like to the president. Suppose they this bill or this whatever draft or whatever decision is given, they can pass to the president. But if the judicial body like a Supreme Court and the High Court, okay, if Supreme Court and High Court think or see or find any problem, or like they feel that this should not be done, so they can, like they can stop the further amendment of this particular decision. Okay, so here we already see like how these three bodies are interrelated or co-related to each other. हम लोग ऐसा भी बोल सकते हैं कि अगर कोई एक बॉडी अपना काम अच्छे से नहीं करेगी, लाइक लेजिस्लेटिव अगर नहीं करती, या एक्सिक्यूटिव मेंबर नहीं करते हैं, या जुडिशियल नहीं करती है, तो बेसिकली कोई भी अपना फंक्शन को अच्छे से नहीं परफॉर्म कर सकता. मीन वी कैन ऑल्सो से कि दे आर को रिलेटेड और इंटर रिलेटेड ऑन द ईच अदर. नाउ विल स्टडी द each body independently. You have already read something about this institution in earlier classes. Okay, like what it's saying ki when you were in standard 8, so you might have some idea already about this topic, like this institution, like we are talking about legislative and executive judiciary. Here we shall quickly summarize those and move on to asking larger question. What is the function of this chapter? In the case of each institution, we ask what does this institution do. Basically in the previous classes we saw that the basic function of legislature, executive and judiciary. Okay, just a minute, I think there is some brightness is less. I will just increase it. Just a minute. Yeah, just come to me the page. Yeah, so what it's saying ki in the previous class we have already saw some have some idea about this three institution, that is legislative, legislature, executive or judiciary. In this class generally we will ask what does this institution do. Okay, how is this institution connected to other institution. Okay, how this institution are connected to other institution. In example we have already seen कि कैसे लेजिस्लेचर बॉडी, एक्सिक्यूटिव बॉडी और जुडिशरी बॉडी से कनेक्टेड है, कैसे ये तीनों अपना फंक्शन एक दूसरे पे निर्भर होकर करते हैं. नाउ what makes it functioning more or less democratic. Okay, can you say कि suppose if a legislative body or executive institution is not performing their work, so they are the less democratic or they are functioning the more democratic. Okay, what are the things which makes them more or less democratic? Things are the right decision taken in a right path. The basic objective here is to understand how all this institution together carry on the work of government. Okay, so basically here we will understand how this three institution carry the work of government. ठीक है, like we have already seen कि अगर government में कोई भी स्कीम बनती है, ठीक है, I will once again tell you by the graph. See, suppose take example of Ayushman Yojana. Okay, you might be heard about this. Okay, it is the India's biggest हेल्थ बेस्ड स्कीम, ठीक है, जो अभी भी बेसिकली 1-2 साल पहले ही पास हुई थी. सपोज ये जो स्कीम है, ठीक है, ये गवर्नमेंट के द्वारा बनाई गई है. तो सबसे पहले हियर वी विल अंडरस्टैंड दैट हु हैज़ पास द ड्राफ्ट अबाउट देम. ठीक है, तो हमने देखा कि लेजिस्लेटिव बॉडी क्या करेगी, सबसे पहले जो आयुष्मान स्कीम है उसके बारे में पूरा डिस्क्रिप्शन प्रोवाइड करेगी. ओके, डिस्क्रिप्शन. नाउ दिस डिस्क्रिप्शन विल पास टू द executive body. Okay, and they can further make it to the parameter or guidelines for the public. Okay, but in between this process, if judiciary body feel that these things are not suitable for the welfare of public or there is some problem, so this body have a right to interrupt, not in all the condition but in most of the condition. Okay, now we'll move to the further. Now how sometimes we compare this with the similar institution in other democracies. ओके, व्हाट इट सेइंग कि कई बार क्या होता है कि वी ऑलरेडी कंपेयर्ड ये जो इंस्टीट्यूशन है इनको कुछ सिमिलर इंस्टीट्यूशन से जो हमारे अदर डेमोक्रेसीज में चलते हैं. इन दिस चैप्टर वी टेक आवर एग्जांपल फ्रॉम द वर्किंग ऑन इन नेशनल लेवल गवर्नमेंट कॉल्ड द सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट, यूनियन गवर्नमेंट और जस्ट अ गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया. ओके, इस चैप्टर में हम ये देखेंगे कि जो अगर हमने यहाँ पे समझा बेसिकली जो वर्क होता है वो बेसिकली गवर्नमेंट का वो 3 इंस्टीट्यूशन के द्वारा होता है, लेजिस्लेचर बॉडी, executive body and judiciary body. So basically the body which is working at the central level is known as central government. Okay, or the body which is working as the union level or just a government, that is called the union government, or body which is working at a state level is known as state government. ठीक है. While reading this chapter, you can think of and discuss example from the working of government in your state. Okay, when we will go through all this chapter and all this topic, so you can think some of the steps which are taken by your state government. Suppose you belong from the Delhi. Okay, so recently you can see that it's not a recently development, but it's a 2 to 5 year old development which is taken by Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal. That was a odd even decision. Okay, so what happened in Delhi, there is lots of pollution is increasing due to industrialization, increasing the population, lots of transportation, there are lots of factors. So what the Delhi government take the decision that they take, we will run the vehicle by using the odd and even vehicle number. Okay, so they named that scheme as a odd and even scheme. So that scheme was taken by the state government. Suppose you are living in a Delhi, so there are lots of activities or there are lots of scheme policies which might be taking at right now. So you have to just observe that and study about that. Now we'll move to the first topic, that is how is a major policy decision taken. Okay, so basically we are in the first paragraph we have some little bit overview about who takes the decisions, okay, and who implement this and who have a right to formulate the rule. Okay, so basically here we see ki there are basically 3 bodies, legislature, executive and judiciary body, who are responsible to take all the decisions of a government, or basically they are the only institution who can take the decisions of a government. But basically what do you understand about that 3 bodies कि ठीक है, लेजिस्लेचर को ड्राफ्ट पास करने का अधिकार है, रिजोल्यूशन पास करने का अधिकार है, एक्सिक्यूटिव को उसे देखने का अधिकार है एंड जुडिशरी को उसको इंटरप्ट करने का अधिकार है. बट बेसिकली ये पॉलिसी कैसे लिया जाता है, क्या लेजिस्लेचर बॉडी जो है वो किसी भी फील्ड में ले सकती है? नो, देयर इज some parameters, there are some obstacles. So here we will understand or learn the basically steps of making the policy decision. A. Government order. On August 13, 1990, the government of India issued an order. Okay, what happened ki on 13th August 1990, government of India has issued one order. It was called a Office of Memorandum. What was the name of that order? That order name was Office of Memorandum. Just a minute. Yeah, you can see that name of that order was a Office of Memorandum. Now, like all the government's orders, it had a number and is known by the O.M dot number, that is this, dated on the 13th August 1990, the Joint Secretary and officer in the Department of Personnel and Training in the Ministry of Personnel, Public Grievances, Pensions signed the order. What it's saying ki basically whatever the orders are taken by the government, that is any name you can depend upon the what are the decision taking. So basically that order or that decision is given by or marked by some number, okay, and there are need of some authorized people's signature, so that that order or that policies can move further, like a joint we can see the order which was passed by the government on 13 August 1990, that was signed by the Joint Secretary, okay, Office of Department of Personnel and Training in the Ministry of Personnel, Public Grievances and Pension. So basically you can understand or you can have little bit idea कि अगर ये जो order है, ठीक है, इसको सिग्नेचर कौन कौन कर रहा है, ज्वाइंट सेक्रेटरी कर रहे हैं, ऑफिस ऑफ डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ पर्सनल एंड ट्रेनिंग, जस्ट अ मिनट, या ओके, ज्वाइंट सेक्रेटरी, ऑफिस ऑफ डिपार्टमेंट पर्सनल एंड ट्रेनिंग, मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ पर्सनल, पब्लिक ग्रीवेंसेस एंड पेंशन. तो आप इससे थोड़ा तो आइडियाज़ लगा सकते हो कि जो ऑर्डर बेसिकली होगा वो कहीं ना कहीं पेंशन फील्ड से रिलेटेड होगा, बिकॉज अगर पेंशन और पब्लिक ग्रीवेंसेस मिनिस्ट्री इसमें इन्वॉल्व है तो कहीं ना कहीं इस फील्ड से रिलेटेड होगा. नाउ it was quite short, barely one page, okay, the order was basically very short, it was just contain of the one page, it looked like any ordinary circular or notice that you may have seen in the school, okay. Generally that order was not much lengthy, that contains a very less content, okay, that was just hardly one page content, and that order, that kind of order you might have seen in any type in school. Suppose if there are some republic or any fest is coming in school, okay, so what you will get, you will get the some notice or which is pasted on your notice board, written by your principal or the head of your school. So you can correlate this order as that kind of just contain, in matter of contain only. The government issue hundreds of orders every day on a different matters. What does it saying? जो गवर्नमेंट है वो बेसिकली क्या करती है, एक दिन में 100 से ज़्यादा ऑर्डर्स इशू करती है, बट दिस वन वॉज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट एंड बिकम अ सोर्स ऑफ कंट्रोवर्सी फॉर सेवरल ईयर्स. ओके, व्हाट इट सेइंग, वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द ऑफिस ऑफ मेमोरेंडम, ठीक है. तो ये जो ऑफिस ऑफ मेमोरेंडम का ऑर्डर था ये बहुत बड़ा, जैसे कि हमने देखा कि गवर्नमेंट जैसे हर दिन बहुत सारे ऑर्डर्स को पास करती है, लेकिन ये जो ऑर्डर्स था वो बेसिकली इतना ज़्यादा इम्पॉर्टेंट ऑर्डर बन गया कि ये इनकी जो कन्वर्सेशन, इसकी जो कंट्रोवर्सी चली थी, ठीक है, फेवर और नॉन फेवर पीपल के, वो बहुत सालों तक चली थी. नाउ लेट अस see how the decision was taken and what happened later. Okay, here we will understand कि basically हुआ क्या था, क्या decision लिया गया था गवर्नमेंट के द्वारा और कैसे चला गया था. Now in this box there are some other orders are given, like you can see reservation of for other backward classes in civil post and services under the government of India. Okay, all this you have to just go through it and understand the basic thing. Now the order announced a major policy decision. Okay, जैसा कि हमने देखा कि जो ऑफिस ऑफ मेमोरेंडम था वो बेसिकली एक बहुत ज़्यादा बड़ा पॉलिसी डिसीजन को अनाउंस किया था. इट सेड दैट 27% of vacancy in civil post services under the government of India are reserved for the socially and educationally backward classes. Okay, it's actually it's talking about the above decision which is given in this box. Okay, so just once go through it, what are the this decisions are saying, we will also once go through it. Like in multiple undulating society like ours, early achievement of objectives of social justice as enshrined in the constitution is a must. बोला जाता है कि जो हमारी सोसाइटी है, बेसिकली हम देख सकते हैं कि जो हमारी सोसाइटी है वो दैट इज़ अनडुलेटिंग सोसाइटी. लाइक कि अनडुलेटिंग काइंड का मतलब इट्स नॉट अ नेचर ऑफ follow, it not doesn't follow the nature of duality which is equal. Like early achievement of objective, like देखो बेसिकली जो सोसाइटी को इक्वलाइज करने का सबसे जो इम्पोर्टेंट और सबसे पहला स्टेप जो लेना चाहिए दैट इज़ कि जो हमारे कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में इन्वॉल्व हो, कि हमारा जो सोसाइटी है उसको इक्वलिटी देना है. सेकेंड बैकवर्ड क्लास कमीशन called a Mandal Commission was established by then the government with this purpose in view, which submitted its report to the government of India 31st December. ओके, जैसा कि हमने देखा कि जो अनडुलेटिंग सोसाइटी है, ठीक है, उसको लेके एक जो लाइक सेकेंड बैकवर्ड क्लास कमीशन का फॉर्मेशन हुआ था, ठीक है. मतलब कि बेसिकली जो सोसाइटी में अपर एंड लो क्लास के लोग रहते हैं उनके बीच में जो अनइक्वालिटी आती है, तो उस अनइक्वालिटी को ख़त्म करने के लिए मंडल कमीशन की स्थापना हुई थी. मंडल कमीशन को सेकेंड बैकवर्ड क्लासेस भी बोला जाता है, ठीक है. और इन्होंने अपनी रिपोर्ट पास की थी 31 दिसंबर को ऐसी अनइक्वालिटी को ख़त्म करने के लिए. गवर्नमेंट हैव carefully consider the report and recommendation of the commission in the present context regarding the benefits to be extended to the socially and the educationally backward classes as opined by the commission, and are of clear view that at the outset certain weightage has to be provided to the such classes in the services of the union and the public undertakings. what it see कि ठीक है, ये रिकमेंडेशन तो पास कर दी मंडल कमीशन ने, ठीक है. जो गवर्नमेंट है, लाइक हमने अब यहाँ पे सेकंड स्टेप किसकी आ रही है, एक्सिक्यूटिव बॉडी की आ रही है. उसको बेसिकली ये जो रिकमेंडेशन है, ये रिपोर्ट है, उसको बहुत अच्छे से पढ़ना पड़ेगा, उसे प्रेजेंट के कंटेक्स्ट को समझना पड़ेगा, उसके बेनिफिट्स को समझना पड़ेगा, उसे ये देखना पड़ेगा कि अगर ये सोसाइटी में आता है तो सोशली ये लोगों को कैसे हेल्प कर सकता है, ठीक है, और एडुकेशनल बैकवर्ड क्लासेस को कैसे कर सकता है, और वहाँ की जो कमीशन है और उस फील्ड के उनसे भी राय लेनी पड़ेगी, ठीक है. और बाकी सब सारा क्लियर करने के बाद जो व्यू आएगा वो प्रोवाइड किया जाएगा यूनियन और पब्लिक अंडरटेकिंग्स के थ्रू. अकॉर्डिंग ऑर्डर्स आर इशूड एज फॉलो, ठीक है. फिर देखो हुआ क्या कि गवर्नमेंट के द्वारा ये सारे प्रोसीजर को फॉलो करने के बाद एक ऑर्डर इशू हुआ, ठीक है. 27% ऑफ वैकेंसी इन द सिविल पोस्ट एंड सर्विस अंडर द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ शैल बी रिजर्व्ड ऑफ स्पेशली इकोनॉमिक बैकवर्ड क्लासेस. ओके, व्हाट दैट ऑर्डर व्हाट इट वो सेइंग कि जो 27% वैकेंसी है वो सिविल पोस्ट में और सरकार की अलग सर्विसेज में, वो बेसिकली सोशली इकोनॉमिक बैकवर्ड क्लासेस के लोगों को मिलनी चाहिए. फोर्स सेड रिजर्वेशन शैल अप्लाई टू वैकेंसीज टू बी फिल्ड बाय डायरेक्ट. बोला जाता है कि कुछ रिजर्वेशन होनी चाहिए वैकेंसीज में, ठीक है, ताकि वो डायरेक्टली इसको फिल्ड कर सके. मीन्स बेसिकली ये बोला चाहिए 27% रिजर्वेशन होना चाहिए, ठीक है. रिजर्वेशन फॉर अदर बैकवर्ड क्लास इन सिविल पोस्ट एंड सर्विसेज अंडर द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया रिगार्डिंग. ओके, अब 30 हमने यहाँ पे देखा कि ये पास हो गया था 31 दिसंबर को 1980 में मंडल कमीशन के थ्रू. अब क्या हुआ, द अंडरसाइंड इज डायरेक्टेड टू रिफर टू दिस डिपार्टमेंट, ओके, डेटेड 13 अगस्त 1990 and 25th September 1991 regarding reservation of socially and educationally backward class in the civil post and services under the government of India, and to say that following the Supreme Court judgment in Indira Sawhney and other versus Union of India other case, ठीक है. What it saying, this is also, but this is the other order, same demand they are asking, just they in above there was a particular limit like 27%, here is a generally the reservation for other backward classes. Okay, so we read this two topic and now we will understand its explanation. This order announced a major policy decision. It said that 27% of vacancies in the civil post and services under the government of India reserved for the socially and educationally backward classes. Okay, what it saying कि जो मंडल कमीशन के द्वारा ऑर्डर पास किया गया था वो ऑर्डर बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट था. उसने क्या बोला था कि जितने भी सिविल पोस्ट होंगे और गवर्नमेंट के अदर सर्विसेज होंगे उसमें 27% जो कोटा होगा वो स्पेशली सोशली इकोनॉमिक एडुकेशनली बैकवर्ड क्लासेस के पीपल का होगा. सोशली educationally backward classes is another name for those people who belong to caste that are considered backward by the government. Okay, see यहाँ पे socially educationally backward class उन लोगों को बोला जाता है जो कि लोग नीचे कास्ट के लोग में आते हैं और उनकी कास्ट की कैटेगरीज गवर्नमेंट के द्वारा की जाती है. बेसिकली जैसे हम इंडिया में बात करें SC ST एंड सम कास्ट ऑफ द सम कैटेगरीज ऑफ OBC. The benefit of job reservation was till then available only the scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. Okay, till we can see the till 90, I think 1990, before the passing of Mandal Commission. Okay, till the Mandal Commission came into the force, there was the only reservation for the two classes like the scheduled caste and scheduled tribe. There was no reservation for the other backward classes and some other classes. Now a new third category called socially educationally backward classes. Okay, till there, uh, uh, before that there was a reservation for the scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, and after a new third category was introduced, that was socially and educationally backward class. Only person who belongs to backward classes were eligible for this quota of the 27% jobs. What it's saying, कि the people who belong from the socially and educationally backward classes, they receive the 27% of job quota in any civil services of government or service, some other services. Others could not compete for this job. Okay, they are, suppose I can tell you through this example. Suppose there are 100 vacancies. Okay, suppose there are 100 vacancies of in any department of government. Suppose take the judicial department, okay, or social justice department. Justice department, there is a vacancy of 100 people, so this vacancies will be divided through the quota basis. Suppose we have studied here 27% for the socially and educationally backward classes, and some for the SC, some for the ST, and others are reserved for the general category of people. So services this services vacancies are generally categorized on the basis of quota which people have. Now, so where all these people involved in the decision regarding the office of memorandum, let us find. Okay, so what it's saying ki what was our topic, ki how the decisions are taken. So basically here we have here we have understand one order number that was passed by the Mandal Commission. Okay, it was passed by the Mandal Commission that there should be 27% reservation for socially, educationally and backward classes. Till here we have understand. Okay, so basically what happened, Mandal Commission was formed by some body, some member, and this commission introduced a draft that this much amount of quota should be given to the special educationally backward classes. Later this draft was passed to the government, and government, by keeping all these policies, all the terms and condition, all the parameters into the manner, and they gave the result. Okay, so but basically here what is our topic is how these decisions are taken, that we will understand in the our upcoming classes. So I hope you understand this classes and enjoyed a lot. We'll come to the next class with the next topic.